Hiya Tom, good to see you again today. Hopefully you've thawed out after the session. It wasn't the warmest day you'll ever spend on a range, but just to recap on the session that we did. First of all, if we take a little look at the interesting view here on the top left, from sort of looking back at you from the target, the first thing we're going to highlight is the angle of the shaft. I'd like to see the shaft positioned a little bit higher at address, so we get the shaft line running a little bit more through the belt buckle like we see on the bottom right with Tiger, as opposed to down in the groin area. Down in the groin area is going to encourage us to start the ball a little bit too far left if we're not careful. But what we do tend to do is through impact, there's a dramatic lifting of the shaft as you come into the hitting area. You can see a marked difference between the angle of the shaft at impact and the angle of the shaft at address. One simple way of achieving a better shaft angle at setup is to try and feel that the toe end of the club is down on the ground. As you can see, if we magnify that, the toe end of the club is a little bit too much up in the air for my liking. I'd like to see you get the toe end down a little bit more, consequently the shaft angle would raise. Once that happens, you're going to have a little bit more room at setup between you and the golf club, and from there we can make a better backswing. What we're tending to find is the backswing gets a little bit too much behind you. So again, if we just play this through, the club goes back inside. There's an early turn, there's not much arm swing there. So the club's sucked back inside, and we look at it from down the line. We can see again that the club, although it's very shady because of the light today, the club is very, very deep at that point. Now, we did discuss the arms and the path they should take during the swing. We'll come to that a little bit later. Because of that dramatic move on the inside, what we're going to do now is we're going to throw the club way out in front of us on the way through. You can see there the arms working high through impact, which is going to encourage you to rotate the club face a little bit too much. And also, as we discussed in your first session, because the path of the club is bending the golf ball, any excessive move out in front of you, you can see there the club exits the body very, very high, is going to impart too much right to left spin. So even though your setup's much better and your understanding of what you're trying to do is much better, there still is tendencies there that are going to cause the push to the right and the overdraw to the left. Now we're taking a little look at Tiger, and we're going to pause him in some key positions and talk you through what should be happening. I've put some red lines down there on Tiger's feet to illustrate the grid that we used during the lessons. And if we just take him back first of all to the checkpoint we used today, which is when the left arm is parallel to the floor. And you can see there that when the left arm is approaching parallel, it's slightly in across his chest on a very similar angle to the grid that we've got on the floor. If you then take a little look at yourself demonstrating that, you're going to take the club back, and we want the left arm to be tracing the grid that we've got again on the mat. That's going to encourage us to swing in a circle. If we take a little look at the actual swing at the moment, we can see that as we get to that halfway back position, left arm parallel to the floor, the left arm is too much across your chest and doesn't actually mirror the angle of the grid that's down on the mat. From there, Tiger's going to work his way up and then come back down with his left arm in a very similar position as he approaches that parallel to the ground area again. So we watch you do that. And this is all about you gaining an understanding of positions in your swing. So again, we can see there that as you start down, that left arm's back on the path that we're trying to swing the club down. Super position at that point. And then what we see Tiger do is we see him continue on the through swing, following that circle. You can see the club tracing the line that's on the floor, the other side of the golf ball, as the arm works back on the inside. And we watch you rehearsing that one. You can see as you come through this golf ball, much lower with the hands to impact. You can see the arms disappearing across the chest. Club exits the body on a much different angle to what we see here. Arms stay out in front of you too long. Club exits very high. So what we're looking at down the line, or towards you from down the line, is instead of that right arm being way out in front of you, we want that working across the chest. a little bit more. So ultimately what we're trying to do is we're trying to trace the grid that's on the mat, both sides of the golf ball. And what we tend to do on this one at the moment, just get this up on the full screen for you, although it's a little bit shaded, you get the idea of it. We tend to go back too much on the inside, so we don't follow the grid on the way back. We go a little bit too much, if you will, inside it with the club and the arms. We continue to stay a little bit too much inside it as we get halfway down. And whenever you get the arms so much across the chest as you're coming into the ball, there's only one way this club and the arms are going to go in the through swing, and that's excessively out in front of you. And whenever we get that, you can see the rate of closure on the club face increases, and as we said, you run the risk of pushing it or overthrowing it. The two drills that I'd like you to work on are obviously rehearsing the positions in relation to the grid. You can do that indoors or you can do it at the range when you practice, and also hit some shots with an item under your left arm just to connect your upper arm to your chest, keep you connected to impact and get the club working more low and left through impact. And to give you a good image of that, I'm just going to run that Tiger Woods swing through a few times for you without the lines, and just watch the move he makes through the golf ball. That's the key move for you, through the ball. More to the left. So he's tracing that circle. So the swing should be from the inside to slightly inside. Inside to inside, not inside to outside. Try and get the feeling that that shaft's going to exit the body much lower, just slightly below your left shoulder would be ideal. Good luck with it. If you need any more help, you can give us a call, or if you feel like you're progressing nicely and you want me to have a comment on your swing, just email it across and we'll drop you a line via the emails. See you soon, mate. Keep up the good work. Well done.